And before I know it, I'm starting to get these messages, and it's like really, really harsh stuff. And it's about how you are painting a picture of the homeless community. How could you be like this? These are your unhoused neighbors and they need help. A few people accused me of being racist. That woke me up. Because I'm like, oh my God.
They eat their...
That's host of the Young Turks and woman growing curious about the shadows on the cave wall, Ana Kasparian, talking to Jillian Micheals about the moment she decided to leave the Democrat Party. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and it looks like the old saying is true that a conservative is just a liberal who's been mugged. Because Kasparian is about to share a traumatizing yet sadly commonplace experience she had in the liberal utopia of Los Angeles.
As I'm walking my dog, I see these two guys that were just kind of like moving around weirdly. They seemed kind of manic, and their clothes were tattered. So I knew that they were probably homeless. And I also knew that they're probably on something just based on like the twitchy way they were acting. But living in LA, I mean, there's homeless people everywhere, right? So I've never had problems. I didn't think anything of it. But as I was bending down to pick up my dog's mess, one of the guys like grabs me by my hips, and he had an erection.
Oh God.
And just starts like humping me. And I didn't know what to do. Like I was terrified. I didn't have a weapon on me.
Yep.
Like I had no way of defending myself. I didn't know how far it was going to go because it's two guys. I'm by myself with my little dog. It was one of the most terrifying things ever, because I'm pretty good at defending myself. In that moment, I just knew there was no option.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily, he stopped, and they just laughed at me and walked away as they were laughing at me. And so there was the fear, and then the humiliation, and weirdly shame. Like I felt ashamed for some reason. And it was awful. And it was really taking a toll on my mental health, because I have to walk my dog, right? So at least 2 or 3 times a day, I'm going outside kind of scared. And so I opened up about this on the show.
This just highlights one of the overlooked dangers of the left's nonsense ideology. There's absolutely no wisdom there. Everything is rooted in denying reality and your own intuition. So they create policies and belief systems that find it more acceptable to put women at risk by walking the streets at night with violent junkies than it is for them to cross the road or lock their car doors when they sense danger. And in the event that anyone on the left starts to notice things or recognize patterns, well, that's a threat to the liberal hive mind, and they have to be attacked relentlessly.
Not really thinking much of it. And before I know it, I'm starting to get these messages, and it's like really, really harsh stuff. And it's about how you are painting a picture of the homeless community. How could you be like this? These are your unhoused neighbors and they need help. A few people accused me of being racist when I had never disclosed the race of the individuals who did this to me. And in fact, they were white. And so like when they started accusing me of being racist, I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you assuming that the people who did this?
Of course.
Yeah, like I think you might have a problem here.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that woke me up. Because I'm like, oh my God.
They eat their...
It's like Michael said, the left will eat its own every time with their BS purity test and shifting goalposts. And since that story, Kasparian has been attacked nonstop by liberals for daring to speak with people who have different politics, like Ben Shapiro, taking a harder stance on crime, and criticizing the Democrat Party. Now, does this mean she's going to be voting for Trump anytime soon? I highly doubt it. But it does mean that what Democrats are doing is starting to manifest itself in negative ways for a lot of people, which means there are more and more disaffected liberals out there who aren't happy with their party and aren't eager to support people like Kamala Harris or Joe Biden any longer. But let me know what you think. Do former Democrats like Kasparian signal a positive or negative change in politics? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!